If you missed February's Producers Club, we asked Mary Yang from GovDelivery to come in and speak to us about social media and how it can work for you and your show. Here's a recap of what you may have missed.
My name is Mary Yang. I'm the Senior Marketing Communications Manager for GovDelivery. I manage all of the content creation and social media for the company.
So I wanted to talk a little bit about your goals. And I had a thought in my mind about if I were sitting in your position, sort of what are some of the things that I'm hoping to do, I'm hoping to gain sort of from a social media perspective. What is social media, right? When I think about it, when a lot of people think about it, it's kind of like this. It's a lot of like icons. You're not really sure what they stand for. You might know one or two, like the F is Facebook, the bird is Twitter, and then, you know, you're kind of like, what's that? What's this little S over here? What's this, you know? And I think that that's, in general, that's sort of how social media is seen. If you try to search social media definition on Google, a million things would come up, and they'd all be different. And I think that makes it a little bit harder to grasp as something that we can sort of use in our everyday lives. So what I did is I made a word cloud. I took those 30 different definitions and then it brings to the forefront the words that are sort of repeated most often, right? And you can see from the word cloud here, communication, content, social media, obviously. A couple that I also thought were really interesting was interactive, and I feel like at the heart of what social media is, it's really just a means for facilitating communication. And I want you to kind of think about how communications plays a role within the goals that we kind of talked about a little bit earlier, and how that really is what you're trying to do with social media, is communicate to your broader audience. So Facebook, I wanted to start off with, is a social community, right? So going back to that idea of communications and interaction, with Facebook, you don't want to create a member account. You really want to create a page. And you can't create a page unless you're already a member, right? So you have to, if you're not on Facebook yet, you have to join Facebook, and then you can create a page for your show or your shows. And with this page, you can do a lot of things that you can't do with your member account. So for instance, you can track and report as a page, whereas as a user, I could never go in to see how many people are viewing me, how many people are liking my posts, how many people are, you know, what age they are, any of that stuff. You can't do that as a user, but as a page, you can. So my first best practice with Facebook is to speak with an authentic voice. My next one is to consider what your post looks like. There are a lot of studies that show that posts with images get like, you know, 5 times more likes than posts that have just words, and then posts with videos have like 12 times more likes than just posts with words. And because of the nature of the business that you're in, having those images and having that video content can go a long way. I want you to think about trying to increase that viewership and that free promotion by maybe a couple of days before talking about, you know, how excited you are for the next show that's coming up, and you know, remind them when to tune in, right? As well as after a show, follow up with a post asking for thoughts, asking for feedback. You can, you know, if you're using YouTube, you can link to the video clip of it on YouTube and sort of cross promote in that way. Keywords in YouTube are your best friend. Your best friend. So the first 27 characters are critical, because otherwise then it kind of cuts off with those ellipses. And you also want to fill out tags when you're doing your YouTube video. You want to tag your video, similar to Twitter with hashtags. You just want to tag it with some keywords. Some best practices: keep your videos short. Like, I know that there's a tendency to say, okay, I've got this 30-minute long show and every single piece of it is relevant, and I want to put all 30 minutes of it on YouTube. It's easier to splice it up into like 2 or 4 minute increments. You can do series, or you could clip parts that you think are really interesting and then say, you know, if you missed the show and you thought this was interesting, catch my next show this date, this time.
I think that social media moves so fast that it's hard for anybody to sort of get a full grasp of it. And so I think that the best thing is to just kind of take your time, dig in, use it, and play around.